Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, boys and girls. Once again, it is me, Edwin Twinomugisha, the science doctor, and I'm ready to take you through integrated science as usual. And like we have already said, on every Monday, we come in specifically to handle the facts, the very facts, in their simplified order. And that is why I'm in for integrated science today. And of course, we shall be sharing other extra facts in relation to what we started last time. But of course, before I take on this lesson, like I've always done it, it's always very important for me to remind the general public that the disease, the virus, is still within us and it is everywhere. Therefore, you will only be safe if you mind about the way you behave. Therefore, one's behavior currently can either safeguard you or open all your chances of contracting the virus. The reason as to why I signify wearing face masks so that whenever you are in public, you are able to be safe right away from those other people near you. But of course, for my case here, I will, of course, put off my face mask for the purposes of clarity and audibility so that you enjoy the lesson from wherever you are watching. Star TV, Emunyenye Yegwanga. Once more, we are still looking at the facts connected to accidents and first aid. But for our today's case, we are going to look at what we call conversions. You know, in the previous lesson, I talked about what we call fever. I talked about fever and conversions, okay? And conversions. And in our previous lesson, we are able to understand more facts about fever, okay? I believe you are already set for today's lesson. And it has always been my behavior that whenever I come in, I want to alert whoever is watching so that you pick up your pen. Of course, you pick up your piece of paper or you can talk about a book without forgetting that also alerting your neighbors, your other friends that the teacher has started is a very good norm so that we take on this lesson together as we enjoy the simplified facts in integrated science. A question now comes back to you. We discussed about fever last time, right? Can we now check ourselves without actually reading, without reading where we wrote our notes? Can we reflect on what we called fever? Okay? This question is just back to you who is watching me today. Now look, we said that fever is the abnormal rise in human body temperature. It is just a state, it's a condition when the human body temperature goes beyond normal, okay? And then we are able to say that the human body temperature can be, recorded as if it is normal, it must be 37 degrees Celsius, which is equivalent to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, right? But then we say that if the body temperature of a particular person goes beyond either 37 degrees Celsius, or it goes beyond 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, then this person is losing their normal state. Okay? But then I just gave you another state under which a person can be maybe something like 36 point something. It can be as well maybe 37 point something like 2. So there is a range the medics give which prove that the person is still okay, all right? But then for our purposes of getting the exact figure, we shall say the human body temperature is always there. Therefore, the moment the human body temperature goes beyond that one, we say then one will have got what we call fever. In the same lesson last time, my boys and girls watching today, we were able to discuss about, we talked about the causes. We talked about, the signs or indicators. We talked about, the effects of fever as well as ways of giving first aid to someone with fever. Then, of course, there are some words I resisted. I told you that you can do away with the word high fever. Because if it is fever, automatically the human body temperature has gone, beyond normal. Okay? But then, we should as well remember that fever and conversions, this is one of the other modes, the different modes of accidents that we are having in our different communities. I remember telling you that we have got very many, which include, of course, drowning and near drowning. And the moment we talk about drowning and near drowning, you definitely, you recall, your behavior, your nature of behavior whenever you are in a swimming pool. Do you mind about the way you dive? Do you mind about the way you do it? Are you guided by an instructor? Okay? Then, are you in the right position, safeguarding one's life just in case you are on a tour and you are at any source of water? Okay? Then, are you aware that you cannot just simply run in, save someone's life, because it's very possible that both of you can easily end up losing your lives? Okay? So, all these will be definitely covered here. And of course, we shall as well look at what we call, fainting and poisoning. Like, of course, I remind you that we started with burns and scars, but then it should be very clear that in our today's lesson, we are going to now concentrate on another state of our body, and this is basically what we call conversions. Okay? Conversions. Now, if you talk about conversion in relation to fever, this is another term, and of course, I want to thank you, my good friends, only that I don't know whether I can record these names. There are some good friends of mine who submitted their research work. I gave you research work about this, and I told you that you do that work and you submit it to my numbers so that I could, easily mark you and I go through what you really did. A number of you people did it, and I thank you very, 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 very much. I think next time I will be noting your names down so that whenever you come here, I'm able to read out all these names of very active students who are perfectly doing it very, very well. Now, let's look at this. The word conversion, therefore, you can just say conversions. These are uncontrollable. These are uncontrollable, jerky movements. Jerky movements of the human body, Okay? So sometimes you can as well call it the involuntary shaking of the body. This is just another step in most cases that occurs under the influence of fever. Therefore, in our previous lesson, I remember saying that in case fever is not managed at some level, it can result into conversion. And then for if you must understand clearly what I'm talking about, I think conversion, we can bring it into our real life situation. I believe each one of us could have ever, experienced, let me see, the very common, well, if it has ever rained on you, I think that could be a very good example. Only that it's not so common in all of us, right? But the moment it finds you down there in the farm, okay? It finds you on the road and maybe, but anyway, on the road, I think it's quite understandable. You just get some house there, you stand under the shade and, it first reduces. But the whole point is, if it rains on you and then the body develops some fever, sometimes you just don't even develop that fever, but the body starts shaking involuntarily, okay? There is that kind of jerky movement of the body. Someone is shivering, if I can use that very easy word for you to understand the concept, right? The person's body is extremely shaking, that this person has no control over this kind of jerky movements, right? Okay? And in turn, we shall realize that this person, as the body is shaking, even the person cannot easily speak to you. Okay? This is what we are calling conversion. But in this case, it's not about rain, okay? I want this to be very clear. It's not about rain. It's not about, it has got a root cause. And we are yet to understand the causes of such kind of a situation. Now, I want you to understand that these conversions, or a state of conversion, it is conversion. We can just say this. Conversion is commonly caused by a number of diseases, or when the body temperature is high. Okay? When the body temperature is high. But remember that that high body temperature, it is what we termed as fever. Okay? And then, if it is fever, in our previous lesson, we equally looked at the possible causes of fever. So, in relation to fever, I want you to understand that what causes fever can result into conversion. Okay? The body shaking, it shakes uncontrollably. Okay? You cannot stop the body movements. Sometimes people, tend to go and cover themselves. Some people are given some heavy jackets so that they can generate more heat. Okay? And in some cases, you find that even heat is too high. I just want you to understand this point clearly. That if you used the very example I gave about, it has rained on you and blah, blah, it will sound slightly different from this. It can as well be possible when temperature is too high. You are even sweating. Okay? You are sweating, and then all of a sudden, the body has started doing what? Shaking uncontrollably. Shaking involuntarily. Okay? So, now, when you look at conversions, they have their specified causes, and they have effects. They equally have first aid and the prevention measures. Okay? But of course, before we get that far, let's first understand some of the causes. What are some of the causes of conversion? What are some of the causes of conversions? Okay? In human beings, my boys and girls watching, you should be very, it should be very clear to you so that you understand that we are talking about all these different forms of accidents and the way we can able manage them at home, because we are talking about human beings. Okay? Now, let's understand this. What are some of the causes of conversion? One, causes of conversion. Of course, we talked about fever. Fever is the key here. Okay? Someone's body temperature goes beyond normal. and this person's body starts shaking. And that's why another statement I would have given you here is that conversion can only be managed after the causes have been treated. Therefore, if this conversion has been caused by fever, if you must manage conversion, you must manage fever. Okay? So if at all you want to have this person, you want to give some first aid to this person, urgent, immediate help to this person with conversion, you work on this immediate cause. We understand, technically, there are other deeper causes. And of course, that's why we talked about fever. And we said fever is also caused by some other, causes which are also known, right? Like we mentioned them. Now, if you will just simply give first aid to manage this temporarily, and then you make sure that this person is taken to the nearby health worker, of which the health worker will take another step to giving technical assistance. So you shouldn't say, the science doctor taught me, ways of managing conversions, and therefore when someone has got, these high junk body movements, then I will manage and treat it. No. We don't treat, but we are looking at the possible ways we can give first aid to this person. Okay? Then another cause here, we can look at epilepsy. Epilepsy. This one is epilepsy. I think that is the correct correction. Spelling. And then we have got, sometimes it can as well be caused by drug abuse. Drug abuse. Okay? We can as well talk about brain damage. Brain damage is just within this. We are going to, and then other different diseases which include malaria. Untreated malaria can as well result into this. If it is just moving towards its acute stages, then one can easily develop what we call conversion. I just want you to understand that this is just epilepsy is sometimes caused by just, it can result from the brain damage. Yeah, true. This can result from the brain damage, okay? Brain damages. And what is very important here is that for those who know, this is, when the body develops that kind of permanent shaking, okay? And these brain damages, it should as well be noted that they can as well result from difficulty in delivery, difficulty in delivery. Children tend to get it at birth due to difficulty in delivery, giving birth in women. So when they are giving birth and they have had maybe some complications, it is very possible that one can get what we call the brain damage, okay? Of course, the other details are also within there, and we shall get them as we go on with integrated science, even at some advanced level. Now, when you look at these, you must have seen some people who have been abusing drugs for some good time. People use marijuana. People use mirunji addictedly. You see? Someone is addicted to taking alcohol. The state where one cannot do anything, minus, drinking, some alcohol. Someone tells you, what? You want me to do this? Yes, give me a glass. Come on. You see? Someone is addicted then. You get the point? And out of that addiction, the body can generate that, natural and uncontrollable movement. Okay? And for us, we shall always tell you that conversion can be managed if we manage the causes. In this case, if we talk about drug abuse as a cause, can't that one be managed? Okay? Which excuses do you give for abusing drugs? Okay? So we look at a number of things. If you say no to abusing drugs, using drugs in the way that is harmful to the body, period, you are moving. You can as well say, if, well, I'm now talking to you boys and girls, but then you should as well know this, that whenever a woman is going to give birth, it is always advisable to go to the nearby health center, and they do what we call self-delivery. We ensure safe delivery. We preach about safe delivery because we know those other dangers that can come about when someone just gives birth under those unexperienced personnel in our very local areas. Okay? And then, of course, if we talk about fever, what are the root causes of fever? Okay? What are the root causes of fever? We talk about malaria. You should talk about sleeping under a well-treated mosquito. And indeed, we are going to reach there. Let's quickly now look at what we call the indicators. What are some of the indicators? Indicators of conversion. Indicators. One can call them signs, but let's just have them as indicators. What are some of these indicators of conversion in people? How can you know that this person has developed some conversion? One, we have what we call severe sweating. Okay? Severe sweating. This can be one of the indicators because severe sweating goes hand in hand with fever. Okay? Then you can talk about frequent urination. There is always frequent, what we call frequent urination. Frequent urination. There is that kind of, too much release of fluids from the body through your urethra. Okay? I'm now taking you to the other part of excretion and, excretion. But of course, we shall meet it as we go on. That is when I will tell you actually why sometimes people urinate more frequently on cold days than on hot days. I don't know how many times you have asked yourself about that question. Why is it that on cold days, go and check it out, okay? Why do we urinate more frequently on cold days than on hot days? But of course, it's not part of what we are covering today. Now, there is frequent urination. It will be too much, okay? And then you can talk about, there is this rolling of eyes, okay? Rolling of eyes. Okay? Of eyes back in the head. Back in the head. You see someone's eyes rolling. And this is basically caused by that uncontrolled body shaking. Okay? You can talk about the saliva bubbles. Saliva bubbles in the mouth. Bubbles in the mouth. Saliva bubbles in the mouth. I mean, you will see this person's mouth fully covered with some bubbles of saliva. Okay? And then you should as well understand that there is this kind of, communication is hindered. Okay? There is that effect on communication. And therefore, difficult, okay, to utter out some words. Difficult to speak. Let's just simplify it like that. Difficult to speak. This person is fighting. If, for example, you are asking what has happened to you, but of course, don't go and ask this person conversing what has happened to them. Instead, you manage the situation by giving first aid, and then maybe you run to you rush to take this person to the nearest health worker. I still insist I'm not using the nearest health center. I'm using the nearest health worker. Because we want this person to be attended to. You're not talking about the buildings, but we are talking about the technical personnel who can come in to save the life of this particular victim. Okay? Then, of course, you can as well talk about uncontrolled body, okay? Uncontrolled body shaking. You can say body movement. Okay? Uncontrolled body movement. The body will keep on moving. It's an indicator. Someone has got some conversion. And therefore, it is very important for you to analyze. Take a quick analysis and you study the situation, understanding what could be the causes of this kind of junky body movements. my great boy, and you, the girl, watching our today's lesson. It's now another opportunity that I have to let you understand that during this time, when you keep on saying that schools are closed, children are learning. Okay? And you are lucky that every Monday from 11 to noon, I'm here taking you through this. But then, even on other days, children are learning. And it is simply because these people got to know about what we call Prime Learn. Prime Learn. This is an app you must get today from the Google Play Store. And the moment you get Prime Learn, sign in, get an account. After you have had your own account, simply tell your mom, tell your dad, put some data on your phone, and then you start watching lessons that are clearly presented by the jury and nice teachers from all over our Uganda. And then you will be able to identify the level at which children are benefiting from this. You just need to do it today. Don't wait. Download it from Google Play Store if you don't have the app yet. And then that's why we always give you our contacts so that we keep you engaged and you register successfully. You start enjoying these good lessons. Now, I believe you are still following, and I will remove this so that we can now finally talk about the ways of giving first aid. Okay? This person has got conversion already. Its cause maybe is either known or not yet known. Because if, by the way, that's why we are studying. If you identify that this person, it has rained on them, and that's why perhaps their body is shaking, okay? Then it is very okay. As someone who has taken some steps in integrated science, give them jackets, heavy jackets, okay? Put them under the blankets and cover them for some minutes and see if there will be that immediate change, if there will be some quick improvement. And of course, it must be done under your clear monitoring so that at least in case it is worsening, it is going beyond your control, then you don't even call me, but you rush to that nearby health worker. If you know them, and if you don't know, at least there are those identified hospitals where you will go and they are working all the time so that your patient is clearly attended to. We don't want to lose a life because you are delaying trying to give first aid. My great boys and girls watching today, let's quickly look at what we call the first aid measures. What are some of the steps we can take to give first aid for conversion? Okay? How can we give first aid to someone who is conversion? By the way, are you taking note of what we are discussing? That is something you should be really doing, because at the end of it all, we shall be able to do an activity. And that is exactly why we have always, given some good time to you people to, to give us a call, and you give your responses according to the way you have understood the concepts here. Okay? Let's look at the first aid for conversion. Point number 1. If there is what we call severe, I want to give you first aid measures basing on these indicators. Okay? You have identified the state under which the body is, and then you want to give some, some guidance. Okay? You want to give some help, some immediate help, first aid. That's what I'm talking about. You'll be able to identify what exactly are you working on. Is it fever? Okay? Are you talking about difficulty to speak? So you should now be able to give first aid in relation to the indicator you want to manage. For example, if there is severe sweating, then the point should be remove all tight clothes. Remove all tight clothes from the body. Okay? Okay? Remove it from the body. That is point number 1. If fever is still high and we surely want to first, you are working, you want to reduce this body temperature. You want first to make sure that the, temperature normalizes, okay? So you can as well, put the victim, okay? Put the victim in an open place. Put the victim in an open place where this person can get some fresh air, okay? Where this person can get some fresh air. We shall finally understand that there is no need of giving any drinks or eats. I'm here to give you that point, okay? Now, if all this is done, and then maybe you are looking at the jaws of this person are jumping, and there is that sound produced by the teeth, okay? In that case, there is a likelihood of this person biting their tongue. They can bite their tongue, that is one, or even biting lips. Yet we are managing the effects. We don't want, we are managing the situation to control the effects, okay? And therefore, it is very important put a piece of, I want to leave this one open because some sources of information give you a spoon, putting a spoon between the teeth, okay? But I just want to also look at the other side of the effects of that spoon in the mouth. And most especially to this person whose body is really uncontrollably shaking. So we can say put some material, and this can be maybe a piece of cloth. When I say a piece of cloth, someone can as well fold their clean handkerchief. You fold it very well, a clean handkerchief. If possible, you can use for that very particular individual, okay? You fold their, clean handkerchief. You remember I told you in the very first lesson when we had started about this part of accidents and first aid. I told you that we should be smart. We should avoid causing challenges out of giving first aid. Okay? You are trying to give first aid by causing other, diseases. You are causing other side effects to this very victim. Therefore, make sure that if you are going to use any piece of cloth, it's clean. If it is a handkerchief, it should be clean. And then insert it in their mouth, okay? Between the two jaws, okay? The upper jaw and the lower jaw. Fix it in the middle and make sure that at least there is a change in the way the teeth are colliding, okay? So these teeth should not continue meeting or hitting on themselves. Neither should they go to bite the lips or the tongue, okay? So we can now put some material, which I said it can be a piece of cloth. It can be any soft material. If you have those soft rubber stuff, you can just put it. As long as, by the way, this is also another note to take. You should make sure that you don't put something very small in the mouth that this person can accidentally swallow. Okay? Because the person has no control over the movement of his body. And therefore, if you really understand that, make sure that whatever you put between their teeth does not pass. It shouldn't pass to go to be swallowed by this person, because it will have caused another, double. So put this one between the teeth in the mouth. Okay, between the teeth, to prevent them, okay, to prevent them from biting, the tongue or lips, okay, or lips. So there you are managing the state under which this victim is really experiencing. Then the other point we should not leave out here is that if it persists, okay, you have no any extra addition as far as giving first aid or helping this person, is concerned, then you quickly note this, NB, okay? Let's take that. Let me use some other ink here. Take the casualty. Take the casualty to the nearest health worker. Take this casualty to the nearest health worker. That is only if you have no any extra assistance you can give to this person as far as saving their lives is concerned. Okay? Then, under this very NB, it should as well be noted that it is surely not advisable. This point is very important here. Okay? It is, do not, let's just say it like that. Do not give food or drinks to a conversing person. Because it can easily choke them. It can easily choke them. Okay? So this person's body, the person is having uncontrollable body movements. The body is moving. And every other time, you are also looking at the eyes rolling, the person is shaking, the teeth are vibrating. There is that kind of vibration actually coming from the mouth before you put there that soft substance, okay? And then all of a sudden you simply say, you know what? Because you're just scared. You just don't need to be. Because that's why we must always reflect on what we called the good qualities of a first aider. Okay? You should be confident. So this person brings some drinks. Maybe, there is even sweating, there is what, but you are not minding about the uncontrollable movement of the body. And then you give a glass of, this person is likely to be choked. And you know what choking can do. That kind of abrupt choking, coughing, when a certain substance has entered into the passage of air. Okay? And remember, the moment actually choking only occurs when this particular substance has entered into the trachea. And the moment anything goes into the trachea, which is not food, automatically it has something to do wrong with the lungs. Okay? Now, do not give this, do not give drinks or foodstuffs, because at least the effect is clearly stated here. Then we need as well to look at ways, how possible, okay? How possible can we prevent such kind of states of the body, okay? How can we control ways, prevention, let's just say prevention of conversion in human beings? What are some of those possible ways we can, prevent conversions in human beings? Of course, they all come from our experience, from what we have shared today. One, it should be noted that if conversion, like we have seen, one of the causes is fever, okay? And then fever is caused by a number of diseases. So, for example, if the cause of fever is malaria, okay, then we should consider sleeping. We should consider sleeping under a well-treated, sleeping under a well-treated mosquito net. Mosquito net. You should have a net at least on your bed to make sure that we fight and reduce the bites done by mosquitoes. Okay? It is as well very important to drain. You drain all stagnant. Drain, okay? All stagnant water. Okay? Stagnant water around our homes. Around our homes. So a number of reasons, a number of ways which can, fight mosquito bites at home can be taken correct here. Because in so doing, we are controlling, fever that always result into what we call conversion. Then number 2, maintaining personal hygiene is equally very, very important here. Ensure proper hygiene. It just goes in with, you can talk about sanitation, you can talk about personal hygiene, you can talk about generally that hygiene at home. So ensure proper hygiene at home. And this is simply because we just want to, to prevent. There are those diseases that can be prevented even without taking drugs. Okay? And I have already said this. In science, we have that very common question there. Okay? The diseases that can be controlled without taking medicine. Okay? Those all self-inflicted diseases, which include, diseases caused by smoking. Okay? All diseases caused by smoking can be managed by saying not that. And therefore, you don't need to, to go and take a medicine to make you stop drinking alcohol or, smoking. It's just, your decision, after learning more about the dangers of that act, behavior, and then you take on, okay? Then when you talk about hygiene, we can decide to always drink well-boiled water. Because if we don't do that, we are likely to get typhoid, okay? Typhoid is one of the waterborne diseases, okay? And if you contract typhoid, which is caused by a germ called Salmonella typhi, then automatically you are in danger. And indeed, you have all the possible chances of getting conversion, okay? All these are the manageable situations that we can work upon even when we are home, okay? Now, I want to then give some questions here. Having gone through this, okay? Conversion can only be managed when the person has been taken to the hospital for clear analysis. I repeat. For us as science class, we don't treat conversions, neither do we, prevent, fever. We don't work on those. We can only give first aid before this person is taken to the hospital. But things to do with treatment and etc., automatically, they have nothing to do with our class. Treatment must be all done by the medics because they carry that extra technical, knowledge. Let's quickly look at some of the questions that can make a summary of what we have been able to cover today so that you respond, you give us a call, tell us your name, stand away from your TV set, and then you choose a question you want to answer. You tell us the responses you think are correct for that particular question, and then you give us a space to tell you whether the answers are correct or we correct you on spot. So let's look at activity. Activity. Okay. Number one. Name any 2 diseases that can cause fever. That can cause fever in human beings. Question 2. State any 2 causes of conversion. Any 2 causes of conversions in human beings. And then the other question is, why? Okay? Why is it not advisable Why is it not advisable to give food to a conversing person? Okay. Number 4. Okay. Number 4, you can say, you can give anyone effect of high body temperature, to an individual. Okay. State anyone. Yes, hello.
I'm answering number 1.
What is your name and from where are you calling?
My name is Alex from the.
Your name is who? Okay, Alex Cheyune. Yes, from where are you calling? Yes, Alex.
Number 1.
Yes, please.
Name 2 diseases that can cause fever in human beings.
Yes.
Cholera.
Yeah.
Malaria.
And malaria. Okay.
Number 2.
Yes, please.
State any 2 causes of convulsions.
Yes.
Fever.
We have fever. Good.
Drug abuse.
Perfect. Yeah. That is all you can give. Okay. Thank you very much, Alex Cheyune, for that. You can as well respond to this. Name the germ. We are waiting for more callers. Name the germ that causes.
Hello?
Yes, please.
My name is Rotumia Joshua.
Yes, Mugisha Joshua.
I want to answer number 2.
Yes, you answer number 2, my boy.
State any 2 causes of convulsions.
Yes, please.
Fever and malaria.
Fever and malaria. Yes. Yes, thank you very much, my boy. And I know you are now watching with your friends there. Brina is there. Joel is there. Yeah, I get you right. Thank you very much for this attempt. Some other caller, please. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Yes, please. Yes, hello. Hello. Okay. Sorry. You can give it another trial. And then you give in your submission. Please, some other caller? Okay. So, meanwhile, as we are waiting for other callers to come in and give their responses, of course, I have good friends. Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
My name is Onyaranya from Nansana.
Yes, from Nansana.
I'm going to answer number 1.
Please go on.
Number 1 is typhoid, malaria.
Yes.
And cholera.
And cholera. Thank you. Thank you very, 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 very much, my friend from Nansana. And of course, I know, Marina, you are watching. Please, you need to give a call. Jasmine from Mukono. All you people. Venisha, what happened? I have Daniel, those good friends who are new to me now. Hello? You can now call. Yes, please. Hello. Hello.
I'm answering number 4.
Number 4, please. Go on.
Give any 2 effects of high body temperature in an individual.
Yes, to an individual.
It leads to fever.
It leads to?
It leads to convulsion.
Perfect. Thank you. You have corrected it. Thank you very much. It's a correct answer. Yes. Do you have another question you want to answer? Oh, yes. So thank you very much for giving in a very good and correct response. So if there is another caller, at least we still have these questions to check us to see.
Hello?
Yes, please, hello.
My name is Ojo Alex.
Yes, Ojo.
I'm answering number 6.
You're answering number 6, Ojo. Go on.
Name the germ that causes typhoid.
Yes.
Salmonella typhi.
Woo, thank you. You were so attentive. Thank you very much. I just actually brought it in to trick and see if there is anyone that got the way I brought it in. Thank you very much, Ojo, Ojok. Okay, thank you really very much. And we can just give in some 2-3 minutes for those who still have their questions they want to answer, and then before we just call it a lesson. Yes, yes, please. Hello. Yes, hello. Hello. Oh, I don't know whether you are still there, but we really don't want to lose any call. All calls are very, very important to us. Yes, please. Hello. Okay. So I think for today we have exhaustively looked at the facts that surround this part of conversion.
Hello?
Yes, please. Hello.
I'm answering number 5.
Kindly, what is your name and from where are you calling?
It's still me, Alex.
Oh, it is still you, Alex. Okay, go on.
Is that any one cause of brain damage?
Yes, please.
Convulsion.
The cause of brain damage, okay? Okay, I now see you are. Thank you very much for giving out that trial. The cause of brain damage, like I told you, in most cases, it is caused by difficulty during delivery, okay? When giving birth. So that kind of difficulty can sometimes affect the baby's brain. That is when this case is in those very, infants. So if
Hello?
yes, please.
My name is Akeshi Alvin.
Yes, Arvin.
I'm answering number 6.
Number 6, please go on.
Name that germ that causes typhoid.
Please go.
Salmonella typhi.
Salmonella typhi. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's correct. Do you have another question you want to answer? Okay. Thank you very much, Arvin, and other good friends. I can see we shall not be able to go beyond that. But then
Hello?
Oh, yes. Hello.
I'm answering number 6.
What is your name, my friend?
I'm Alex.
You're Alex again?
Yes.
Please tell me.
Name the germ that causes typhoid.
Yeah, that's what you are from answering. Thank you.
Salmonella typhi.
Wow. Thank you very much, Alex. Do you have another question you want to answer? Okay. Yeah, he has answered it twice, and it's okay because he's mastering it, and indeed he's showing the whole nation that indeed you can go through and you can give your submission. I thank you very much, all of you children who have been able to move with us right away from the beginning up to this very point. When we are summing up, we are just counting minutes to be out of this place, but I always give you respect because whenever it comes to my time, you say the science doctor is coming and you always give in all it takes to make sure that you attend and you actively participate. You just deserve that big, hand claps because you are so important in this. Then you will join me and we thank the management of Star TV, UBC Star TV coming up with this kind of an opportunity where teachers will always come to present lessons that reach out to all children in this country. It's just a golden opportunity, and we shall always thank them very much for this chance to continue to enable us teachers continue reaching out to our children because we love the work that we do. Then, of course, I will thank the good comrades here, and I will always do it because I know what they go through to make sure that I produce the best. I have been with Mutebe Brian, of course, behind the camera alongside Baba's Marion. These people keep focusing to make sure that our lesson is a success, okay? My producer Hector, who is just there in the control room, Alongside Eric, you can talk about that gentleman, Eric, who is a strong gentleman behind all this it takes. And of course, alongside Andrew is always there. You can talk about my friend Muaya, some other names, of course, they keep going. But of course, you people, I salute you. Thank you very much for loving what we do and putting in your efforts to make sure that you focus. Of course, Ebra there at Morocco. I know you people, whenever you know it's me coming, you always tune and tell children sit around your chapati stuff. Keep on watching and they learn as they write. I thank you very, very much. And all other friends that wish us all the good luck, that keep us, moving on day and day to make sure to serve our country, Uganda. For today, I will not be able to go beyond this. I will only tell you that remember always to have your mask whenever you think about moving out of your house so that you remain safe when these schools open. We shall need you to be safe and we go on together. I remain Edwin Twinomugisha, the science doctor for today. Respect.